Greetings, my friends. This is Gilles Mention. I thought I'd come and wish you a wonderful Sunday. I've been gifted with this wonderful little microorganism called a coronavirus. It's a little common cold, and it is a gift. It is an ascension tool. For there is many symptoms of ascension that accelerate our process. I haven't been sick for 10 years, maybe. I haven't had a common cold. So I'm going to discuss a few ideas. The first is that we have to hold that 0 point, that point of stillness, to connect to the crystalline field. For the old world is dying. It's like all those who do not want the new world, the new world of light, will stay in this old world. It is their choice. Everything is about choice. And so there is a separation of the kingdoms, separation of the timelines. Yet the new renaissance, the new world, is not yet born in the physical plane and level. For me, it's been decades. In 1986, I connected to the Creator Source, to the oneness of God within me. In 1989, my first paintings came out. I started this new renaissance, but they are not into the world just yet. And in 1992, I connected to all the galactic. I was invited to visit planets and starships and so on. I wrote a book about it. It will soon be published to give it a simple techniques to connect and to traverse the plane, to visit other dimensions on non-physical planes. But we've been waiting for this renaissance, this manifestation, for a very long time. Some people say, well, I've been waiting for months for that. Well, for me, I've been working in truth, we've been waiting for decades and for lifetimes even. We've been preparing for this important lifetime for a very long time, to prepare ourselves for this final incarnation. So, understand there is many aspects of our higher self, and there is many aspects. We need to retrieve them all. Right now, the earth is cleansing itself, cleansing from the abuse, from the violence, from the war. All of that needs to be cleansed, and we need to create this paradise on earth. And for that, we need to hold on to our vision and not to be distracted by all the dualistic world that is fighting itself, black and white. And so, in the past, it took many lifetimes to correct the wrong. Now it's like the karma is very quick. Everything has been accelerated. So the cause and effect are coming closer. We need to connect to the abundance of love, and to move into this state of. We need to move into this state of being and a state of grace. We will continue to cultivate that state of grace. Do not forget. Thank you for not forgetting to subscribe, to like, to share, to comment. And if you want a private session, very soon I'm going to shift. My life is all shifting, but for now I'm here in service, so I will continue to do that. For the process of necessary to cleanse the land and the water is completely necessary. The earth one needs to find this balance, but know that all of that which is going on is only temporary. It's a passive. We're just cleansing all of the old world, and it's all crumbling down. So, but we may be called to be relocated, to be moved to a new function, a new mission. For now, we need to refine our physical vessel. It's very important to clear up, and the internal changes has to happen before the external changes happens. So, positive thoughts and attitude, and just we have to learn to return quickly to peace and harmony, this state of grace, regardless of what happened. Accept who you are, where you are, all that you are. You are precious, you are divine, you're a beloved child of God, no matter what. So it's like regardless of appearances or process in our incarnation process, it's like in the past we needed to, we needed to get validation from the outside world, but now we're turning inside for validation, and we'll find the validation inside, which will give us empowerment. A lot of old habits and beliefs have to be released. They have to be let go. Negative thought patterns and so on, and do not let the negative thought patterns be for too long. After 15 seconds, you have to stop it. breathe and think of something else, move back from the specific to the general. For we have to find this middle way of peace and harmony, for move from karma into grace. All of the traumas and the pain we experience is what is preventing us from moving into this higher plane. That's the only thing that is preventing us. But each and every one of us we have to monitor each and every one of our thoughts and action, because no matter how minuscule it is, we have the responsibility of it, and a minuscule thought can take us back into a lower cycle. So just love and worship God each and every day, each and every moment. The more we think of the source, the more we remind that we are in the flow, in the unity of God and the source that is the creator. We are in this flow. The faster things will accelerate, for God is made of God. There is only one is all and all is one. But we have to achieve this self-empowerment, to move into these ever-expanding circles of light, to move towards the inner circle and then to expand it. And so for the choice, it is our choice to decide what we want to see in the future. Either we accept some kind of tyranny, a dystopia, that the madness of the Draco-reptilians and the negative alien have been promoting, or through the puppet governments, or we choose freedom, we choose abundance, we choose joy. And the more we connect to this higher frequency, the faster the process will accelerate, and the more it's like there are millions of Christ returning, Christ Sophia, and the darkness will not be able to stay, and even the violence, more and more, the violence will be met by the forces of heaven. It's like they won't be the cause and the effect will be quick in coming. So just cultivate love, for love is beyond. If love is the cause, love will be the effect, and so you stay within the cause and the effect in the unity, the 0 point. For those who need to control and manipulate and dominate are very small minority, and they're losing power every day. So do not pay attention to them. Just continue to cultivate your sense of wellness. And because we need to align all our chakras, we need to solidify our aura. This is really so we can attune to this etheric body, and so it's. So I've been asked a question that's like, what is 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D? But you can, of course, you can give an explanation. But if I say, for instance, that third dimension is a dimension made of matter, particles and atoms, where the ego, and that is dominated by the ego and the desire body, that is, and the ego and the ego self is perceiving this physical reality through the world of senses and qualified it as the reality. Fourth dimension is like realizing there is more to it. This all the world of emotion. When we sleep and we dream, we are in the fourth dimension. It's far more vast. But even that, to say that this world, the third dimension, is a physical reality, to somebody who's never been in physicality, it's not like it's if you're going to explore the work of Shakespeare or all the many authors. There's so much to each dimension. So it's about experimentation. So as we move through the third and fourth dimension, we'll eventually, fourth dimension is the dimension of researching something more, and the fifth dimension is finding the unified field, the unity of it all. The sixth dimension is the harmonic field, the sacred geometry, the root base of the creation of matter, and the integration of immortality, and the apex. The seventh dimension, we become the eye of God, anchored into life. So it's like we reach this apex, and then above that there is the eighth dimension, the portal of infinity, where we connect to our group soul, and we align in the ninth dimension with the plans of God, which is reflected in the 10th dimension through the great central sun. So that's just a definition, but as we more and more we're going to start experiencing that. We need to achieve the balance of our chakra and our aura in the third and fourth dimension, and give our mind to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the divine mind. If we can replace the ego mind by the Holy Spirit, we'll always be guided and have access to so much information. This is happening little by little. But if we look in, if we spend enough time looking at the duality and the program of all those things that do not go well in the world, our frequency will adapt to that. Just as if we let go of that which is preventing us from entering into the state of joy and peace and grace, automatically the flow will take us. Joy, freedom, abundance. And so every time you can acknowledge an improvement in your emotional, for the emotion is the point of attraction. You are coming closer to that point. Every time you can see that you can disengage from something that used to make you feel really bad. Now you are able to deal with it, and so. And even when we feel really bad, at some point, if you can return to hope, then everything will shift back. We go back naturally with training to control our point of attention, to go from specific into general. Let's say if you have a negative emotion about something very specific, you say, well, we go into general. So all will go well at the end. Tomorrow is another day. This too shall pass. I still have my hands, my arms, my feet, my legs. It's like, dude, that would be a great catastrophe if you lose your hands and your arms. But a lot of things that we consider very, very dramatic is actually will be overcome. So, yeah, tomorrow is another day, and the solutions are always coming. So long to feel good. In order to reach, some people in the old world say, well, you feel good because you achieved what you wanted to achieve, which makes you feel good to achieve. But if you can feel good, you will attract what you want a lot faster. And to address the pain and the suffering, to accept that you are loved, only love, and this pain and suffering needs to be integrated, accepted, transmuted, healed, forgiven, in order to move into the flow of all that is. And so it is coming progressively. For what we seek is to, excuse me, we have to use diplomacy to create a state of peace, and it is the only solution. And the galactics, if they try to do any major nuclear confrontation, the galactic will automatically intervene, and that would be the end game for the deep state. They know that, and so they won't even. Right now, it's just posture because they know, and so they know that would really create, that would force the galactic to intervene. For it is not the plan of the Creator that this planet be self-destructed, as many others has been. For there is a much greater plan at work that we can even dream or think. We're just an actor in the process. Just play your role as a soul, as a spirit, as a loving, kind, and compassionate beings, and be lucid about it. Know what passionates you. Trust and flow with joy and love. For until we achieve total peace and we are free from disease and poverty and this world, then we'll be able to fully celebrate. But celebrate already. Create that. And continue to envision this world of peace. There is the forces that come from below, the subconscious, and the forces that come from above, the superconscious. The subconscious is always challenging, and so, but eventually we transmute this energy, and the subconscious, what's been created in the past, or we prepare for this lifetime, for many lifetimes, and now it's like coming into reconnecting to many aspects of our higher self in many dimensions, in many galaxies, in many planets, we have many aspects of ourselves on the higher planes. And so as we transmute our subconscious, it becomes conscious, and then we become much more attuned to the superconscious, to the forces that guide us. There will always be higher forces that will guide us. But we have to make peace with the past and sculpt the future, continue to cultivate this vision, that what you want for yourself, how you see it in the world. And when we receive an info, a code like 00101110 is a code, to remind ourselves of the eternal and the infinite nature of who we are. It's like planting a seed. It's not like because you plant a seed that you harvest the fruit. Then it takes integration, it takes practice. It's really important to understand that. For it is also important to learn. It's a monitor what makes you angry. So if there is no more, eventually you don't want anything to make you angry, and you nothing to make you afraid. So it's like once you have no more nothing can trigger anger within you, and there's nothing that can trigger fear within you, then you have achieved the state of samadhi, lucidity, and serenity. So when you feel those things, it's not to blame yourself, judge yourself, or fall prey to that. It's to become aware, to call on the light, and you transmute one more aspect of the lower self. There was a philosopher named Ulm in the 18th century, an English philosopher, that thought that emotional maturity was more, emotional intelligence was more important than intellectual intelligence. And I think I have to agree with him. It's like eventually we become so mature that that nothing can really trigger us to become angry, to move out. When we are moved out of our center, we have to learn to quickly return to the state of center, to the state of peace, and maybe not necessarily joy, but first peace, and then we cultivate this connection, and then joy returns. So because it's like spiritual, we have to continue to flex our spiritual muscle, to learn to play with that, to acknowledge our divine nature. It's like a child that is learning to walk. The parents wanted the child to walk and play on the bike and whatever, but it's a slow process. Everybody's got to do it. It's in his own rhythm, and it is by putting knowledge into practice that we acquire wisdom. Knowledge is knowledge, but if it's not put into practice, it is just intellectual knowledge. We can't really use it. So be patient with yourself and with others. All the love of the universe is already secretly held within each and everyone's heart, and so we have to tune in to open all the floodgates of the heart. And but how do we come to experiment it? We will have to find a way through the daily life experience to cultivate this sense of how do we practice compassion, how do we practice joy. But every day can get a little bit better and better, so it's just continue to practice that. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wanted to share that. There's so much that I see that is coming, great changes. Of course, we've been saying that forever. And every day there is little changes. Sometimes we're waiting for the big piece that will change it all, but we're receiving little piece. And when you put all the little pieces together, the process advances. And eventually the big piece, the Gestalt, the one that makes the whole process work, comes in. And then we become something else, someone else. We have to allow ourselves to change, to evolve into a greater version of ourselves each and every day, to trust the Creator, to trust our soul, to trust our other soul, to trust our guide, we are worthy of that which we've been asking for, to worthy of that freedom, of that joy, of that abundance, of that lucidity, and all that. So I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for subscribing, sharing, commenting, and liking. I'm going to finish with a song. It's a bit paradoxal because I'm single. I'm not in a relationship right now, but I take it as a hint from my intuition that the relationship may be coming. It's called Heaven. Oh, thinking about all our younger years, there was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before, but it's over now. You keep coming back for more. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I find it hard to believe we're in heaven. Oh, once in your life you find someone who will turn your world around, bring you up when you're feeling down. Yeah, nothing can change what you mean to me, but there's a lot that I could say. But just hold me now, 'cause your love will light the way. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I find it hard to believe we're in heaven. Yeah, love is all that I need, and I find it here in your heart. It isn't hard to see we're in heaven. I've been waiting for so long, for something to arrive, for love to come along. Now our dreams are coming true, through the good time and the bad. Yeah, I'll be standing here by you. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I find it hard to believe we're in heaven, and love is all that I need, and I found it here in your heart. It isn't hard to see we're in heaven, heaven. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. Song sings Brian Adams sings this song, beautiful song, very romantic, and so I wanted to. The Spanish spirit says in the middle I was thinking. He said, "Wait, you'll see." They're funny, and so just stay in touch with your guidance, stay in touch with your angels. Angels are very light beings. They've a great sense of humor. They're very light, but they're very in the truth as well, and they could be of great assistance if you continue to ask for them, and the more you are enjoy already, don't wait to be in pain to call on your guide. Just when you enjoy, you'll receive a lot more connection, and once the connection solidified, you continue, you have more disconnection. It'll be a lot easier when you don't feel good to call on them. I'm just bring that up as a final word. Well, I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much, Adonai.